What is going on, fellow fans of Clash of Clans? It is your host, Galadon. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. It is going to be an epic, amazing, incredible, unbelievable, unbeatable video because, yes, I've got some bases for you. And let me tell you, you can find any and all of the bases that I feature on my channel and my live streams on my Discord server. So let's put that link up on the screen and in the description. Feel free to come on by discord.gg/GaladonGaming. But first, you might want to stick around and check out the bases and see which one or ones that you want, because let me tell you, they get better. Now, this was an amazing challenge, and it was sponsored by none other than Supercell. Check this out because it's going to happen again, and you guys do not want to miss out on the prizes. That's right, it was 500 gems directly deposited from the Clash of Clans team to your account if you could 3-star one of these bases. Now, there were indeed 2 bases that proved to be unbeatable. Is it true? Is it possible there are bases in the game that nobody can 3-star? I know what you're saying. Just go down to the comments and say it. Let me know that, yes, any base can be beaten, or you can beat any base, or whatever it is you have to say. I'll go down there and definitely give that comment a heart. But in the meantime, let's check out this first ring base that held pretty well. It held pretty well until, well, there was a couple of attacks that didn't quite go as planned, and I will admit that there is a varying skill level of player that came to the live streams. But this was interesting, and I actually made the biggest mistake that any caster could possibly make. And luckily, technically I was only streaming, I wasn't casting, although there were maybe a couple thousand people watching. Okay, so I am in control, of course, of the replay. I'm a one-man show here, and I'm watching this attack, and I'm thinking, okay, he's pretty much lost all of his heroes, all of his E-Dragons. There's no possible way this player could possibly 3-star, okay? I did say possibly twice. So I left. I'm like, all right, this guy has to go. And the rule was, if you don't 3-star, you have to get kicked out so we can make room for another player. And we go on to another replay. And next thing you know, the chat's just yelling at me, Galadon, Galadon, Galadon. It was a 3-star. Now, tell me, looking at the screen right here, this is where I froze it right as we left. Does that look like there's any chance of a 3-star? Now, have you noticed what I didn't notice at the time? Okay, at the time of this attack, I did not notice that Mohammed Mishuk had not yet dropped the Siege Machine, the Barb King, or the Archer Queen, or the Royal Champion. Everybody was still being held back. I just assumed that, like every other E-Dragon attacker you ever see, all of those things had already been deployed, and this attack was pretty much over. Yeah, so I wasn't paying close attention, but I will admit, there were a ton of attacks coming in, and it was just one to the next and the next and the next, over and over again, looking for players to defeat Lenade's bases. So now, for those of you that don't know Lenade, he is a professional Clash of Clans player. He is a French player, and he plays for MCES. You may have heard of them because, yes, they are a World Championship qualifier team. And yeah, so some solid players, some really well-designed bases. And although at first look, it looks like an easy to defeat ring base, we will get deeper into these bases later in the episode, and I'll show you exactly what similar strategies are being employed by Lenade in these bases. And there are a couple of keys. We'll see those, and perhaps, maybe, you could use those to design your own unbeatable base, or like I said, maybe you just want to pop on back to my Discord server and copy these for yourself like Galadon did. So there you go. So this is about the point when I left the raid. I'm like, the E-Dragons are dead. This attack's over. Let's go on to the next one. I did not see the Barb King at the bottom of the screen right here, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, how could they possibly clear the rest of these defenses anyway? I mean, come on, there's a scatter shot, an Inferno Tower well protected by a bunch of other buildings. There's storages left. There's no possible... Okay. Yeah, well, as usual, the caster curse comes in, and Muhammad, very prepared and very methodical in his deployment, and that was what threw me off. I was expecting full-on spam. Check it out as the Stone Slammer moves in with the rest of the heroes and just begins to annihilate. Notice the Stone Slammer putting in work right here and getting to some valuable portions of the base. Then the Rage spell, you got the Warden. Well, you've got, okay, Well, you've got the contents of the Stone Slammer using the Rage spell. Eventually, they're going to get in there. They're going to wipe out. There it goes, the Scatter Shot. And now you can see where this is going. Not the Warden, but the Royal Champion and Archer Queen ability are still intact, and this ends up becoming an actual overkill 3-star. Wasn't even close, and we had a winner for 500 gems directly from the Clash of Clans community managers that helped me put this together. So that was exciting and very, very cool. And then Linnaid said, all right, you beat that base? Try this one. And we moved on to another slightly more unusual base, but like I said earlier, there are some design consistencies in each and every one of Linnaid's bases that seem to be keys to defending, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So try again. Players from the clan, this was a stream clan called 3-Star Challenge, and that's how I'll do it again when we do the next one. Also, just so you know, I'm trying to get the Clash team to raise the amount of gems being given away. I would love to see it be a high stakes challenge for you guys to try to drop 3 stars on these bases. And then also, how about a reward for the base designer if people can't 3-star the base? Because, you know, technically Linnaid didn't really get rewarded for all of these amazing bases that he burned. He exposed to everybody in the stream, thousands of viewers as well, and now all of you guys. All you have to do is stop by my Discord server, and they are sitting right there under the room called Linked Bases from Video. So make sure you come by and check those out. The bases, a lot of fun, but like I said, I feel like we can also learn from the design and kind of, you know, utilize these strategies on our own. But let's check out this next attack, because after many, many attempts, yes, this player whose name I cannot pronounce or translate did drop in a triple on a very difficult base right here with a very well planned out and patiently executed. That's right, it's hybrid. This is my current favorite attack strategy by far. And notice it all comes down to the value that the Archer Queen is gaining. She is going to get the Town Hall and about a third of this base out of the way, creating a beautiful funnel. And it really, let's be honest, it could have kind of been a Gallo YOLO Queen charge, because either left or right, the Archer Queen could have traveled down either side, and this perfect funnel is going to happen anyway. So in from 9 o'clock come all the miners and the hog riders, the siege barracks, and the king down at the bottom of your screen, and that's it. Everybody rolling in right after the core. Now this is where let's talk about a little bit about what is going on in these bases that is so difficult. I think that the one consistent thing we saw was the expos. They seem to be really close together. Almost every base of Linnaid had all 4 expos right near the core of the base. Also, the hero's difficult to get to as well. And it really comes down to, and I've seen this in a lot of more recent bases that are doing well, this burn in the core of the base, where you have so much damage, and especially, of course, splash from the scatter shots as well. The Eagle staying up late into the attack makes a big difference. It makes it really hard for a player to grab a 3-star unless you've got a really well executed Queen charge, and that's exactly what happened here. Notice the Yetis. Again, like in Galadon's attacks, the Yetis weren't even really needed. They're an afterthought. They come out of the siege barracks, but this base is already gone. And there we had another 500 gem winner deposited directly to their Clash of Clans inbox. So yeah, even better than a gift card or anything like that. Now let's move on. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? These are the bases that you want to take a look at and may consider using, because the next 2 bases were not defeated. Okay, nobody in the stream could beat them. I mean, I was patient, you guys. I was talking to the chat the best I could. I was giving as many players as I possibly could an opportunity to attack the base, and the rule was attack once and then you have to leave. You know, you didn't get to do it over and over again, kind of like how you have to do the creator code over and over again, right? You know that you have to enter the creator code every 7 days, otherwise it doesn't work, right? But if you guys get a chance to do that, I really sincerely appreciate it. And just so you know, currently the rate of give back is about 50%. And what I mean is, it doesn't cost you anything, but I'm giving back about half of what I get right now through the creator code. The other half is paying bills, college expenses for the daughters, and that sort of thing, keeping the lights on around here. But of course, you guys are getting a big chunk of it in gift card giveaways and amazing swag that I give away every month. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for helping out using creator code Galadon. And I know it's not easy to find either. Okay, so let's talk about this base and how well it defended. It is kind of, one of those teaser bases where you've got the Town Hall off to one side, not a full anti-3 in that the Town Hall is exposed. But that's something that, we've learned at Town Hall 13. Players need to consider that the Town Hall is no longer just a high hit point structure. It's a defense. It's a critical defense, and putting it inside the base somewhere where it's not going to get taken out by a single queen walk does make things a lot more difficult, and that's obviously what Linnade had in store here with all of the buildings and storages that were to the north of the Town Hall. Now, you guys remember the episode that I made a week or so ago that was talking about the current meta in Clash of Clans, right? The meta for pro players, the top players in the world. And it really was dominated by a couple of different attack strategies. Hybrid, like we just saw in the last 3-star, we've seen a lot of Lalo and a few other attacks, but very few E-Dragons. This was something that I noticed, that we're seeing a ton of E-Dragon attacks in this live stream, in these challenges. And I feel that there is a big difference and perhaps a disconnect between, say, high-level Legend League players and pro war players. I think that E-Dragon spam, mass E-Dragons, whatever you want to call it, is effective at Legend League for getting relatively high percentage 2 stars, as are, say, Yeti Smash, any sort of YOLO, Yeti, bowler, ground type thing. But when you want to get into the precision, grabbing the 3 stars against a well-thought-out, well-designed, and somewhat unique base, that's when you really almost absolutely have to be using a multi-stage attack that has a queen charge involved. That is almost always going to make the difference. And time again, we saw players come in from different angles with different army variations, and it just didn't work out. The attacks that got closer, the attacks that nearly grabbed the 3s, were almost always Hog Riders and Miners, or one or the other, and of course a good solid queen charge where the queen was kept alive throughout most of the attack. Now, it was a lot of fun to broadcast this, and I have to tell you guys, it's just streaming, okay? For me, yes, I love the fact that you come by the videos, but if you guys get a chance to come by these live streams, I can promise you all sorts of stuff, okay? Way more giveaways, and of course, interaction. I'd love to talk to you guys. Yes, the videos are fun to make, but it's never a two-way street with a video unless I read the comments, and then it's obviously nowhere near real time. If you want to talk to me in real time, come by Facebook, you guys. It is a blast. We are building a very cool community over there, and many people have actually told me that they created a Facebook account just to come to my streams. And if you did that, make sure you let me know in the chat, because I would definitely like to give you a special shout out for making the effort to stop by. Okay, so taking a closer look at this base, probably my favorite from the entire stream, because I'm just not a fan of the typical diamond-shaped bases, teaser bases, or ring bases. This was very cool and also surprisingly difficult for players to get through. And again, look at the expo placement. All 4 expos are really closely placed together and protecting that Eagle artillery. So although there's a lot of variations to these bases, that kind of seemed to be the common theme. Rather than spreading out the defenses throughout the base like you see in some of those 5-point bases, it was really focused in the core, and that, I think, is becoming the meta to prevent the 3-star. Also, of course, there's little strategies you can use to try to stop queen walks with Inferno Towers, with sweepers, with, of course, the scatter shots as well. Good placement, air defenses as well, can wipe out healers before an archer queen can really get deeply into a base. And that's what we saw time and time again from Linnade's bases, which just made it so cool to watch so many different players coming in. Now, I do anticipate that the next time we do this, and it should be in about another week or so, probably on a Saturday if you guys want to come by, it's going to be tougher. It's going to be tougher for the defender because I feel like we're going to get a higher quality of attacker come in. I am inviting you, the pro players, to come in and try to grab some of these free gems. I know you want them. I know you want to show off your skills to the masses, the thousands or the tens or hundreds of thousands that eventually see these streams. And that's a reminder, yes, you can come by my Facebook page and see any and all of my live streams as videos on demand. So literally thousands of hours of my time spent streaming with all sorts of different attack strategies and just fun, crazy stuff. You're welcome to stop by and check that out as well. So again, this was the second base that could not be beaten. Nobody was able to grab the 3-star, and we went for literally hours, okay? I gave as many players as I possibly could an opportunity to attack, and now what I've done is I've taken these 2 bases that nobody could beat, and I've copied them, of course, over to my own accounts. A, because I'm going to use them in War and CWL and maybe in Legend League, but also 2, because I want to give you guys the opportunity to come by and beat these bases. So I'm thinking maybe I can't do gems directly like the Clash of Clans team can, but I could do gift cards, okay? I can offer gift cards to those of you that are able to get in here and 3-star one of these 2 unbeatable bases. Can you beat the unbeatable? It's possible, because we all know that there is no such thing as a base that can't be beaten. It just needs the right attack, the patience, and maybe a little bit of luck. Okay, the pros can call it skill. I take luck, but you can see right here, Bagheera losing the Queen Walk at that point, and that's again, because of the way this is set up. You'll notice that you could try coming right at that Town Hall. Very difficult, especially with the scatter shots there, the sweepers, the Inferno Towers, and the defending heroes surrounding that Town Hall. And it would make that backside seem weak, but players came from both directions, and nobody was able to grab the 3-star. This was one of the closer to a 3-star attacks, but let's all remember the old saying that your grandfather used to say, okay? Something like, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Something to that effect, right? Okay, so yeah, close doesn't matter in CWL. A 50% 2-star or a 99% 2-star doesn't make that much of a difference. It's all about that 3rd star. So bases like this, whatever reason they're able to prevent the triple, it's amazing to watch, and I'm always entertained. I go back and I watch these attacks when I'm doing these videos, and I'm enjoying it. I'm learning something here, so I hope that you guys are as well. I know most people have probably already left the video by now. It's just the true Galafam that's still hanging out, but you guys know. I mean, I could go on and talk for hours, literally. Oh, well, I guess that's kind of what the live streams are about, but man, I could waste time talking about whatever you want to talk about. So yes, again, this is not a video pitching my live streams, but it sort of is, because I just have fun over there. And I would love to talk to you guys about life, about anything you want to talk about how to do YouTube videos and how to stream, about what you had for breakfast, about what type of dog you have, about what you do to self-quarantine to make sure that you're not getting it or giving it to somebody else. Yeah, anything and everything. In the meantime, yes, you did it again. You made it all the way to the end of the episode. That means you're the true hashtag Galafam. I love, think about, appreciate every single one of you every single day. So stay inside, wash your hands, be kind to other people, animals, and the planet. I'll see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks. Galadon, look at the comments. Look at the comments on the video. So many players could beat these bases. Huh.